Okay, real talk. How many times have you watched Star Wars and thought, wait, where the heck is that planet? Or maybe you've wondered why everyone seems to end up on Tatooine when there are supposedly millions of worlds out there. Well, buckle up, nerf herders, because today we're taking the ultimate road trip across the galaxy, far, far away. From the glittering skyscrapers of Coruscant to the mysterious depths of the unknown regions, we're mapping out every major planet that matters, and trust me, by the end of this, you'll never look at the Star Wars galaxy the same way again. Picture this. The Star Wars galaxy is basically a massive cosmic cinnamon roll. No, seriously. It's a spiral galaxy with about 400 billion stars swirling around a supermassive black hole at the center. Now, imagine cutting that cinnamon roll into rings. That's how the galaxy is organized. And understanding this structure is crucial to getting why certain planets are wealthy paradises, while others are, well, Tatooine. Starting from the center, we have the deep core. Think of it as the galaxy's VIP section, but so exclusive that even VIPs can't easily get in. The gravitational anomalies here make hyperspace travel incredibly dangerous. Moving outward, we hit the core worlds, where all the cool kids hang out. Then comes the colonies, the inner rim, the expansion region, and the mid-rim, each progressively less developed and more frontierish. Finally, we reach the Outer Rim territories, which is basically the Wild West of space. Beyond that, wild space and the unknown regions, where GPS doesn't work and here be dragons might as well be written on the star charts. According to the official Star Wars Galaxy map recently updated in 2025, the unknown regions actually take up almost the entire western half of the galaxy. Way more than most fans realize. Here's the kicker. This geography directly impacts everything in Star Wars. The closer you are to the core, the richer and more civilized you are. The farther out, well, hope you like moisture farming and dodging bounty hunters. This cosmic inequality drives conflict throughout the entire saga. Rebellions don't start in penthouses, they start in the neglected corners of the galaxy. Let's start our tour in the galaxy's Manhattan, the core worlds. These aren't just planets, they're statements. They're where senators debate in climate-controlled chambers while sipping Corellian brandy and pretending the Outer Rim doesn't exist. Coruscant is the undisputed king of the core. Imagine New York, Tokyo, London, and Dubai had a baby, then covered that baby in a planet-wide city that goes down for miles. With its trillions of inhabitants, this ecumenopolis, fancy word for city planet, has been the galactic capital for millennia. The Jedi Temple sits here like a cosmic lighthouse, built around 1,000 years before the Clone Wars, at least until Order 66 turned into Palpatine's personal Gothic castle. Fun fact, beneath all those gleaming towers lies the forgotten underworld, where sunlight hasn't reached in millennia and the Wi-Fi is probably terrible. Then there's Alderaan, or rather, there was Alderaan. Before becoming the galaxy's most famous asteroid field, this planet was basically space Switzerland. Peaceful, cultured, and really good at staying neutral. Princess Leia's homeworld was known for its philosophy, art, and complete lack of weapons. Turns out, being a pacifist planet doesn't mean much when someone points a Death Star at you. Too soon? It's been 47 years, but yeah, still too soon. Sorry. Chandrila deserves more love than it gets. This agriculture paradise gave us Mon Mothma, the woman who basically held the rebellion together with sheer determination and really good organizational skills. After the Empire fell, Chandrila became the first capital of the New Republic because, let's face it, after decades of Imperial Grey, everyone needed some greenery in their lives. And we can't forget Corellia, the Detroit of the Star Wars galaxy. If Detroit built the fastest, most heavily modified ships in existence. This is where Han Solo learned that the only thing better than following rules is breaking them stylishly. Corellians are known for three things: incredible pilots, fantastic ships, and a stubborn streak wider than the Kessel Run. The planet's massive shipyards have been pumping out vessels for millennia, including a certain famous YT-1300 light freighter that made galactic history. The core worlds represent power, but also its corruption. These planets shaped galactic policy during both the Republic and Empire, often ignoring the needs of distant systems. It's no coincidence that both the greatest defenders of democracy and its greatest destroyer, looking at you Palpatine, came from these privileged worlds. Moving outward from the core, we enter what I like to call the suburban sprawl of the galaxy. These regions still have their acts together, mostly, but you can start to see the cracks in the facade. Naboo is the galaxy's overachiever, beautiful on the surface with its Renaissance Italy vibes, but hiding secrets deeper than Jar Jar's actual purpose in the plot. This mid-rim world gave us two of the most important figures in galactic history, Padme Amidala and Sheev Palpatine. One fought for democracy, the other kind of murdered it with thunderous applause. The planet itself is fascinatingly weird. It's not solid, but has a honeycomb interior filled with underwater tunnels. The native Gungans figured this out ages ago, while the human Naboo built Venetian-style cities up top. Talk about a housing market divide. Bespin, our favorite floating gas station, proves that you can build a thriving business literally in the clouds. Cloud City might look like a luxury resort, but it's actually a massive Tabana gas mining operation. Lando Calrissian ran this place like a cosmic Vegas, all charm on top, all business underneath. The Empire's arrival turned it from a neutral haven into another cautionary tale about dealing with Darth Vader. Pro tip, if a Sith Lord alters the deal, you pray he doesn't alter it further. Canto Neimoidia represents the corporate side of Star Wars that George Lucas was clearly satirizing. Home to the Neimoidians and their trade federation, this planet of bridge cities and massive wealth shows what happens when you let corporations run everything. Spoiler alert, they start blockading peaceful planets and accidentally kick off galactic civil wars. The planet's architecture is genuinely stunning. Cities built on massive bridges between rocky spires, which makes you wonder why species with such good taste in design made such terrible political decisions. Then there's Kamino, the planet that shouldn't exist, at least not on any maps. Located outside the main galaxy in the Rishi Maze system, this storm-covered ocean world was deleted from the Jedi archives, presumably because someone realized that keeping a secret clone army probably violates several galactic treaties. The Kamonians, with their long necks and longer ethical blind spots, created the Republic's entire clone army in sterile white facilities while endless storms raged outside. It's poetic, really, an army born from deception on a planet hidden by lies. The mid-rim is where things get interesting. Not rich enough to be core, not poor enough to be the outer rim. These planets have character, and boy do they have stories. Kashyyyk is what happens when you let Wookiees design a planet. Giant Roshire trees, multi-level ecosystems, and a population that can rip your arms off, but probably won't because they're actually super chill. The Empire enslaved the Wookiees for their strength, which ranks pretty high on the Evil Empire bingo card. Fun fact, the planet has 7 levels of forest, and most Wookiees never even seen the ground. The deeper you go, the more dangerous it gets, kind of like reading YouTube comments. Dathomir is where you go when regular darkside just isn't edgy enough. This planet looks like Halloween threw up on it. Red skies, twisted forests, and forest witches who make Sith Lords nervous. The Night Sisters practice magic that even Palpatine found unsettling, which is saying something. This is Darth Maul's homeworld, and honestly, growing up here explains a lot about his personality. The planet's so steeped in the dark side that even the plants want to kill you. It's basically Australia, but with force powers. Ryloth, home of the Twi'leks, has been the galaxy's favorite planet to exploit for millennia. Whether it's the Empire strip mining it, pirates raiding it, or the Hutts enslaving its people, Ryloth just can't catch a break. The planet's tidally locked, meaning one side always faces the sun, too hot, and one side faces away, too cold, with a narrow habitable zone in between. It's like the galaxy's worst real estate, but with really attractive residents, which somehow makes it worse because that's usually why they're exploited. And then there's Dagobah, which looks like what happens when you forget to clean your terrarium for 900 years. This swamp world might seem like a terrible place to hide, but that's exactly why Yoda chose it. The planet's so rich in the Force that it masked his presence completely. Plus, the terrible weather and hostile wildlife meant no Imperial surveyor was ever going to stick around long enough to find him. Sometimes the best hiding spot is the place nobody wants to look. Now we're getting to the good stuff. The Outer Rim, where the Empire's control gets sketchy, the Hutts run criminal enterprises, and moisture farmers dream of joining the Academy. This is where Star Wars really happens. Tatooine. Tatooine. If this desert world were a person, it would be that friend who somehow ends up in every group photo despite nobody actually inviting them. For a remote planet furthest from the bright center of the universe, it sure attracts a lot of main characters. 2 suns, no water, and somehow the birthplace of the Chosen One and his son. The planet's economy runs on moisture farming, scrap dealing, and whatever the Hutts are up to this week. Mos Eisley remains the galaxy's most wretched hive of scum and villainy, though honestly, the Cantina's drink prices are the real crime. Geonosis is Mars with attitude and a serious industrial complex. Those orange rocky spires aren't just for show, they're hives for the Geonosians, insectoid beings who love 3 things: droid factories, gladiatorial combat, and starting galactic wars. This Dust Bowl gave us the opening shots of the Clone Wars and proved that when you gather a bunch of separatists in one place, Jedi tend to show up uninvited. The planet's ring system is actually debris from ancient meteor impacts, which explains why everything there seems designed to kill you. Lothal might look like Space Kansas, but it became the unlikely birthplace of the rebellion's true beginning. When the Empire occupied his pastoral world, they awakened something they couldn't control: hope. The Ghost Crew's actions were proof that small victories could inspire galaxy-wide resistance. Plus, it has space wolves that can travel through hyperspace, because Star Wars gonna Star Wars. Mandalore, the planet that proves you can literally glass a world and its people will still refuse to give up. The Mandalorian homeworld has been bombed, burned, and besieged so many times that most of it is uninhabitable. Yet, Mandalorian culture endures, probably out of sheer spite. The planet's capital, Sundari, existed under protective domes because the outside world was basically Mad Max. This is the way to irradiate your entire planet, apparently. Jeddah was the galaxy's Jerusalem, a spiritual center for Force believers of all kinds before the Empire decided to use it for target practice. For thousands of years, pilgrims came here seeking kyber crystals and enlightenment. The massive statues of hooded figures suggest an ancient Jedi presence, though by Rogue One's timeline, the Empire had strip-mined most of the kyber for Death Star cuisine. The planet's location near Rakata Prime and other significant Force-related worlds suggest a deeper connection to the galaxy's spiritual history. Mustafar. If hell had a vacation home, it would be Mustafar. This volcanic nightmare world is where the Separatists made their last stand, where Anakin Skywalker died and Darth Vader was born, and where Vader later built his charming castle of eternal suffering. The planet's lava flows are harvested for rare minerals, because apparently some companies will set up shop anywhere if the profit margins are good enough. The fact that ancient Sith chose this place for temples tells you everything about their interior decorating preferences. Scarif. The Empire's tropical data center proves that even totalitarian regimes appreciate good beach weather. This paradise world housed the plans for the Death Star, protected by a planetary shield that made infiltration nearly impossible. Nearly. The Battle of Scarif showed that sometimes the greatest victories require the ultimate sacrifice. Also, it confirmed that Imperial IT security is terrible. Who puts all their vital military secrets on one planet? Yavin 4 isn't technically a planet. It's a moon, but it earned its place in history as a rebellion's finest hour. This jungle moon's ancient Masasi temples became the perfect hidden base, probably because the Empire didn't think rebels would set up shop in temples that screamed, "Darkseid was here!" The Death Star's destruction here marked the Empire's first major defeat and proved that Womp Rats weren't the only thing farm boys could bullseye. Hoth. Speaking of rebel bases, whoever suggested hiding on an ice planet where Tauntauns freeze before the first marker clearly didn't think about logistics. This frozen wasteland's only redeeming quality was that the Empire took forever to find it. The Battle of Hoth showed that the best victory is living to fight another day, and that AT-ATs look really cool, but have terrible peripheral vision. Endor, the forest moon, not the gas giant it orbits, is proof that the Empire's greatest weakness was underestimating teddy bears. The Ewoks might look cuddly, but they took down the Empire's best troops with logs and determination. The second Death Star's destruction here ended Palpatine's reign, the first time, and proved that sometimes the smallest beings can change the galaxy. Plus, it gave us the best victory celebration music until George Lucas changed it in the special editions. Beyond the Outer Rim lies the galaxy's final frontier, regions so dangerous and unmapped that even smugglers think twice. The unknown regions are described as closed off by a labyrinth of solar storms, rogue magnetospheres, black holes, gravity wells, and things far stranger, and only Force sensitives can reliably navigate them. Exegol is what happens when you let Sith Lords pick real estate. This hidden world in the unknown region served as the Sith Eternal's base, where Palpatine somehow returned. The dead speak. The planet's constantly struck by lightning because subtle environmental storytelling isn't really the Sith's strong suit. Massive Star Destroyer factories were proved that evil never takes a vacation, it just works remotely. Achto, the most sacred island in the galaxy, holds the first Jedi temple and the ancient texts. Page-turners they were not. Luke Skywalker chose this oceanic world for his self-imposed exile, possibly because the Porgs reminded him that not everything in the galaxy tries to kill you. The island steps test both Pilgrim's cardio and determination, while the Mirror Cave shows you that your greatest enemy might be yourself. Or multiple versions of yourself. Star Wars gets pretty weird sometimes. Ilum started as the Jedi's cosmic jewelry store, where younglings would brave ice caves to find their kyber crystals. The Empire strip-mined it. The First Order went further and turned the entire planet into Starkiller Base because, apparently, Death Stars weren't environmentally destructive enough. This transformation from sacred site to superweapon perfectly encapsulates Star Wars' environmental message. Evil corporations and fascist regimes really hate nature. Casilla, the Chiss homeworld, represents sophisticated civilization in the unknown regions. These blue-skinned, red-eyed tactical geniuses produced Grand Admiral Thrawn, who almost defeated the New Republic through the power of actually being competent. The planet's frozen surfaces hides advanced cities and a culture that values strategic thinking over force powers, proving that you don't need magic to be formidable. Batuu sits at the galaxy's edge, where smugglers, traders, and people trying to avoid the authorities congregate. Black Spire Outpost has become a crucial waypoint for those traveling beyond known space. The planet features prominently in Galaxy's Edge, Disney's real-world interpretation of this frontier trading post. What makes these worlds truly special isn't their geography, it's their people. Each planet's environment shaped unique cultures and species that define the galaxy's diversity. Mon Cala's oceanic depths created two species, the Mon Calamari and Quarren, who share one world but often clash like underwater Montagues and Capulets. Their combined engineering prowess gave the rebellion its best capital ships, proving that species differences matter less than common oppression. The Togruta of Chile developed echolocation through their headtails, making them natural hunters. Their tribal culture values community and balance, which explains why Ahsoka Tano struggled with the Jedi's detachment doctrine. Her people literally evolved to work together. Zabraks from Iridonia and their Dathomirian cousins show how the same species can develop differently on different worlds. Iridonian Zabraks are proud warriors. Dathomirian Zabraks like Darth Maul got the bonus package of nice sister magic and serious anger management issues. The galaxy's power blocks, Mandalorian clans, Hutt cartels, and Chiss ascendancy prove that controlling territory means more than holding planets. It's about maintaining culture across star systems, whether through armor-clad tradition, criminal enterprise, or strategic brilliance. In real estate and galactic warfare, location is everything. Planets aren't just settings, they're strategic assets that determine who controls the galaxy. Hyperspace routes matter more than planets themselves. Controlling worlds along major routes like the Hydian Way or the Prelemian trade route means controlling commerce and military movement. Port Borgo's location near the Hydian Way explains why pirates there are so successful. They're basically cosmic highway robbers. The Empire understood this, placing secret bases on remote worlds while maintaining visible control over trade routes. The rebellion countered by choosing planets so inhospitable that Imperial surveys would just skip them. Like, come on, who's going to thoroughly check a swamp world that smells like bantha breath? Geography becomes weaponry. Scarif's shield gate created a bottleneck. Hoth's asteroid field provided cover. Endor's moon offered concealment. Even Jakku, that nowhere desert world, became crucial as the Empire's last stand because sometimes the best place for a final battle is where nobody wants to build afterward. Here's the thing about Star Wars planets. They're not just backgrounds. They're characters with their own stories, scars, and personalities. Coruscant's gleaming towers tell of ambition and corruption. Tatooine's twin suns speak of hope rising from desolation. Alderaan's absence reminds us what's at stake. Each world reflects the saga's themes: underdogs rising from nowhere, power corrupting paradise, and hope surviving in the darkest places. The galaxy's geography mirrors its morality, the privileged core ignoring the suffering rim, until heroes from those forgotten worlds rise up to restore balance. So, next time you watch Star Wars, pay attention to where the story happens, because in a galaxy far, far away, every planet has a tale to tell. Whether it's a core world penthouse or an outer rim moisture farm, these worlds shape the heroes who save them. Thanks for joining this galactic grand tour. If you learned something new about the Star Wars galaxy, hit that subscribe button faster than the Millennium Falcon making the Kessel Run. Got a favorite planet we missed? Drop it in the comments. Just remember, Crate is a mineral planet, not a salt planet, despite what the comments section might suggest. May the Force be with you, and remember, no matter what planet you're from, you're all stars in this galaxy.